President of the United States. The President, the head of state and head of government of the United States of America, is also the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. The opening of the presidential position came under Article 2 of the Constitution. For the presidential race, there is a requirement of at least 35 years of age. Otherwise, the individual should be a U.S.-born citizen and must be in the U.S. for 14 years. Joseph R. Biden is the 46th president ruling the United States of America. Vice President of the United States. The Vice President is the individual in power after the President in the United States of America, a person who can come forward in case the President cannot perform their duties. The appointment of the Vice President takes place alongside the presidential election by the Electoral College. They, in power, lead the Senate of the United States. There is a history of 48 Vice Presidents. Kamala D. Harris is the 49th Vice President. Speaker of the House of Representatives. Speaker of the House of Representatives gets elected by the party in lead sitting in the Honorable House. They are all set to conduct responsibilities that revolve around debates, appointing committee members, developing legislative agenda, upholding order in the House, and administering the oath of the House members. In the U.S., the 56th House, the Speaker is none other than Mike Johnson. President pro tempore of the Senate. President pro tempore of the Senate is a position where the individual is responsible for carrying out the tasks without the Vice President. In the modern age, the President pro tempore of the Senate directs the new members of the majority party to become in charge of the Senate to practice rules and regulations. The current President pro tempore of the United States Senate is Patty Murray. Majority Leader of the Senate. The Majority Leader of the Senate is an individual who acts as a party head after the Democratic and Republican conferences with each new Congress. A Majority Leader follows the organization of legislation. Such an individual keeps an eye on the legislative schedule and party strategy and is the chief spokesperson. Among the members, Charles Schumer is the Majority Leader of the United States Senate. Minority Leader of the Senate. The Minority Leader of the Senate is the principal head of the party on the Senate floor. A Minority Leader is a representative responsible for bringing forward the minority party's position, legislative mode of action, and negotiable grounds with the majority party. Of the members across the minority wing, Mitch McConnell is currently the Minority Leader in the Senate of the United States of America. Majority Leader of the House of Representatives. The House Majority Leader ranks as the second highest member in the House and comes behind the Speaker of the House. Such a leader works to maintain the legislative agenda and looks at other committee events. Though a Majority Leader is still present in the House, an Assistant Majority Leader is beside him. In the U.S., Steve Scalise is the Majority Leader, along with Tom Emmer, known as the Majority Whip. Minority Leader of the House of Representatives. The House Minority Leader works as an opposition leader. A minority party leader practices the power and speaks for the minority party's rights and policies. On the one side, Hakeem Jeffries is the Minority Leader of the House of Representatives. Catherine Clark is the Minority Whip of the opposition party. Senator. The Senate of the United States of America, also called the Upper Chamber, has 100 members. Previously, state legislatures chose the state senators, but that all changed in 1913. Now all senators are voted into office by citizens. Each state has 2 senators who are elected to serve 6-year terms, and every 2 years, 1/3 of the Senate is up for re-election. An individual is ready to become a senator when they are 30, a U.S. national for 9 years, and a resident. Representatives. Members of the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives has 435 elected members, separated among 50 states, which is the lower chamber of the United States of America. Representatives have the magical power to elect a presiding officer, also known as the Speaker of the House. Governor. A governor effectively leads each state of the United States of America, also termed a chief executive, who operates the state executive branch. The governor is elected directly to perform a list of responsibilities. Governors work on making laws, maintaining a legislative platform, and forming a budget. They are known to be a good source of cooperation regarding the federal government's operations. Lieutenant Governor. Lieutenant Governor, the second highest executive officer of a state, is a subordinate rank to the governor. They play the role and responsibility of a governor in the absence of a governor. Only some states carry out the acting governor position. However, most states do not specifically present the duties of lieutenant governor. The total of state lieutenant governors is 45, with 20 Democratic and 25 Republican. Attorney General, federal and state. Attorney General is known to be the chief law enforcement officer of the federal government or state government. They get nominated by the President and confirmed by the Senate. In the USA, the Attorney General oversees the Department of Justice, is a host and advisor to the President, and heads the federal executive departments on the legal course of action. Similarly, state attorney generals get elected to look at legal matters of the states. Merrick Garland is also known as the 86th Attorney General of the United States. Cabinet members. Cabinets play a vital role in a political system. In the U.S., the cabinet with the vice president and leaders of 15 executive departments, such as defense, education, energy, health, and others, is essential in advising the president on the areas of concern. A cabinet is more of a reflection of a team that brings the leader ahead to serve the country. Chief Justice of the United States. One of the most senior members of the court is the Chief Justice of the United States of America. The Chief Justice comes with a distinctive position. They are the ultimate drivers of a majority of opinions and hold influence on historical events and scenarios. John Roberts is the 17th Chief Justice in the history of the United States of America. Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. An Associate Justice of the Supreme Court in the United States is a justice other than the Chief Justice. They are given the rank on a judicial panel by the President and consent of the Senate. The United States comprises 8 Associate Justices: Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, and Ketanji Brown Jackson. Federal Judge. Various levels. A federal judge gets appointed by the President of the United States of America to offer services in federal appeals court. It has 3 levels for judges: district courts, referred to as trial courts, circuit courts, and the Supreme Court, the highest court in the United States. It depicts 94 district courts, 13 circuit courts, and 1 Supreme Court. Federal courts possess limited jurisdiction, meaning they can hear cases only associated with the Constitution or federal statutes. Ambassador. The President nominates ambassador, one of the highest positions of diplomats in the U.S. They work as the primary representatives of foreign nations and international organizations. Overall, the ambassadors work as good managers, negotiators, and leaders representing the United States of America. Mayor. Mayor, the city's chief executive officer, oversees the town's welfare. Such a responsibility is carried out either as a policy-making role or by breaking tie votes and vetoing regulations. They ensure law enforcement and employees' efficiency in a job. Therefore, the magic is in the hands of the mayor, the head of the local government in the United States of America. City Council Member. City Council members are those elected officials who run the city, town, and other municipal legislative bodies. The essence of the City Council's working mechanics is visible in the annual budget, ordinances, resolutions, and many responsibilities. Mayor and City Council play an evident role and depend on the Mayor-Council government of the United States massively. County Commissioner. County Commissioners play a vital role in the functioning and administration of a country. They are known to be the key policymakers and get appointed by the legislative branch. One of the impressive characteristics is that such individuals work similarly to City Council members or state representatives in the USA. Sheriff. Sheriff, with a star-shaped badge in the United States of America, is known as the Chief of Law Enforcement. Such individuals are often elected by the general public or chosen by an elected body across the states. Sheriffs are responsible for guaranteeing peace, enlisting wanted criminals, organizing jails, and carrying out ample activities. District Attorney. District Attorney, often known as a public official, is elected to represent the state in criminal judicial events at a judicial district or a county. They are the prosecutors who are responsible for confirming that justice prevails through the act of service. Public defender. A United States public defender is a lawyer the courts choose. The state or federal governments often provide such individuals to support clients incapable of hiring a private attorney for a case. Judges. Federal, state, and municipal. Judges are crucial in the United States at the federal, state, and municipal levels. They all interpret the law in their areas. Federal-level judges get elected by the President and Senate. State judges get voted on through election, appointment for years or life. However, municipal judges are designated to handle the petty issues that may arise in a city. State legislator. A state legislator is often termed a legislative body present across the country's 50 states. The title varies from state to state. All state legislators are inclined to enact the law and statutes accordingly in the United States of America. City manager. City manager is often a professional administrator who looks at municipal matters. Their hiring process is comparable to that of a corporate chief executive officer. These individuals possess a wide range of responsibilities based on day-to-day operations. School board members. In the United States of America, there are almost 95,000 school board members. Such a board is also named a Board of Education or School Committee. There are about 3 to 15 elected members. However, local or state bodies choose some of the school boards. Overall, the school board covers academic, legal, and financial issues. Public advocate. Public advocate is an organization that existed in the 19th century in the United States of America. Such an organization depicts religious conservative policies across the American political system. Notary public. Notary public, an individual appointed by the state government, governor, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, or even by a state legislator, acts as a spectator while essential documents are signed. As a state officer, notary work varies from state to state across the United States of America. Registrar of Voters. The Registrar of Voters falls under the County Clerk Division. They are responsible for performing varied electoral duties in coherence with public services. They are often known to increase the contribution and education of the masses across the United States. State Auditor. State auditors across the pool of states supervise and administer rights covering the financial areas of the state. They often act as a watchdog over state agencies while performing internal audits and evaluating fraud claims. The appointment of the state auditor gets done by the state. State Treasurer. State Treasurer, a state chief banker, manages revenue and financial matters. They can also be constitutional executive officers. Interestingly, the state treasurer is present in 48 states, yet elected in 36 and appointed in 12 states of the U.S. State Superintendent of Education. The Superintendent of Education, often called a Superintendent of Public Instruction, Secretary of Education, or Chief School Administrator, operates the state's elementary and secondary schools. They are selected members of the particular districts. This position exists in all 50 states of the USA. County Clerk. A county clerk, often known as a record keeper, holds a legal set of instruments filled by private citizens and public officials. They are responsible for ensuring and maintaining records of the legal course of action. Tax Assessor. Tax assessor is a local government official who works with appraisers to observe property value across a city or town. They are often responsible for professionally assessing real estate taxation in the United States. Zoning Board Member. Zoning board members in the United States of America play a pivotal role. They work on municipal and local laws, pinpointing areas of real property. Election Commissioner. The Election Commission, an independent regulatory agency, was formed in 1975. The commissioner is made by the President and confirmed by the Senate. It is often responsible for looking into financial information, limits enforcement, prohibition on contributions, and public aid of presidential elections. Political Party Chairperson. Political Party Chairperson is a leader of a political party at all levels, local, state, or national level. Such an individual owns the responsibility of a chief executive officer. They usually look at operations, election mode of action, candidate recruitment, and other necessary areas. Campaign manager. Doubtless, campaigns are necessary to spread awareness among the masses. Campaign managers work in a link to many industries and segments. They often come across political campaigns with a blend of tasks on behalf of the political candidates. Political consultant. Political consultants in the United States are often known as public relations specialists, salespeople, and managers. They use several strategies to create awareness about the candidates among voters. Pollster. A pollster is responsible for designing and executing surveys or polls to examine the objectives or questions. They are often known to gauge public feelings systematically across the United States of America. Lobbyist. Lobbyists in the United States are well-known individuals who communicate the thoughts of interest groups to lawmakers, including members of Congress. They are key drivers of good public policy. Congressional staffer. Congressional staffers are employees of the United States Congress. They build knowledge about developing and understanding of how Congress works. Such individuals are significant sources of impact on global issues. Diplomat. A diplomat is considered a professional who ensures U.S. representation in a foreign country. They are peacekeepers who protect American citizens situated in other countries. Such individuals boost international collaboration and strengthen the global tiers. Consul. The consul, a public officer in the Foreign Service, is authorized by the United States in a foreign country. Such an individual handles the commercial affairs of the citizens by assisting in issuing visas and renewal of passports. Grassroots organizers. Grassroots organizers are known to be ordinary people in contrast with the elite of a political party, social organization, and much more. They bring change at local, national, or international levels. Press secretary. Press secretary is an individual who shares the objectives and accomplishments of the agency with the media. Such an official maintains press strategy, media inquiries, press releases, and other essential events. Karine Jean-Pierre is known to be the press secretary of the United States in today's date. Speechwriter. Words play an essential role in creating awareness and gathering attention. Speechwriters are individuals who design speech for other people. A speechwriter gets appointed by higher officials, government executives, political candidates, and private U.S. sectors. Political commentator, analyst. Political commentators or analysts offer expert opinion and analysis on a political idea, development, or relation. There is a massive list of political leaders across the United States of America. Military office. In the United States, military officers go through training to manage and lead. They often hold specific skills that are significant for completing the mission. They perform multiple activities and are highly specialized officials. Intelligence officer. Intelligence officers in the United States of America are those secret agents who protect data and often collect data from external enemy threats. They are individuals with power to operate, plan, and achieve success. Cabinet members. Various federal agencies. Cabinet members include the Vice President and 15 heads of executive departments, including the Secretaries of Agriculture, Commerce, Homeland Security, Interior, State, Transportation, and others. White House Chief of Staff. The White House Chief of Staff is an individual who often leads the staff of the President's executive office. They guide the President on policy issues. Jeff Zients is known to be the current Chief of Staff in the U.S. National Security Advisor. U.S. National Security Advisor is an official assistant to the President for national security affairs. Such an individual is the primary source of coordination of policies across the federal segment. Jake Sullivan is known as the USA's NSA. Federal Reserve Chair. The Federal Reserve Chair is a chair that ponders leadership and executes the mandate of a central bank to attain balance and stability in the U.S. They are executive officers of the Federal Board of Revenue. Chief Information Officer. Chief Information Officer is an agent responsible for enabling an organization's mission with various ingredients, such as the active use of information resources and information technology across the U.S. Inspector General. An inspector general independently carries out audits, evaluations, and other reviews. They are likely to suggest an economical, efficient, and effective working mode of action for agencies. Ombudsman. The Ombudsman looks at workplace conflicts and helps the masses attain solutions to parties through the U.S. Department of State Office of Ombudsman. It was an informative journey to dig out the United States political system. If you want to learn more, stay tuned to our channel and explore the unexplored.